Why with a federation? The whole thing end in confusion. Caricom and then Carifta, but somehow a spelling disaster. Mr. West Indian politician, I mean you went your big institution. And how come you can't unite 7 million? When a West Indian unity, I know it's very easy. If you only rap to your people and tell them like me, them is one race, the Caribbean man, from the same place, the Caribbean man, that make the same trip, the Caribbean man, on the same ship, the Caribbean man. So we must push one common intention, it's for a better life in the region, for we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. You say that the Federation was imported quite from England, and you're going on for Macarifta with a true West Indian.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing this afternoon?
It's just money speech, them Prime Minister giving.
This is yours truly, Royalty James. I am on again, ladies and gentlemen. It is a lovely, lovely day in Grenada, and I am here. I am live and in living colors. Go ahead right now, share the live. Let the people know that I'm here, man.
On the same ship, so we must push one common intent.
Keisha Walcott, good afternoon to you, my special friend.
And we children.
I guess a lot of them is over on Simon Says right now. I guess that is what is going on right now.
Man.
But a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 15th day of June. It is approximately 2 minutes past the hour of 6. And we are on again. Class is in session, ladies and gentlemen. Yolanda, welcome.
Come is wasting time. The whole
Martin Charles, welcome.
If we don't know from where we come in,
it is another evening.
Here we go in. That's why some want to be.
Well, I want to say the teacher will teach.
And one set
based on what is going on right now.
Foolishness.
I think that there have been some issues when it comes to my profession.
Yeah,
and so I await the students.
I
await the students to see what profession they really want me to carry.
From the same place.
I don't know if they want me to continue going by the teacher profession or whether or not I have moved on to principal or professor. But however, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again this afternoon. Gillian Patterson, good afternoon to you. I hope everybody's doing fine, right? We are going to be brief, but we're going to be powerful this evening. Life is worth living, but make every day of your life worth it, alright?
The Federation done dead and Carista going to.
So we get ready to go inside right now and have the conversation that we are going to have this afternoon. Keisha Walcott has given me the profession as principal. I accept. Whether or not I don't get a position at all, I am going to do this for the persons who are not in a position to do this. Good afternoon to you, Miss Ferguson. I hope everything is all right with you. And I pray that we are ready for another evening session in which we can converse and we can have conversation of relevance. I hope that you had a wonderful, wonderful day. I myself would have had a very restful day. I was more or less doing some little house chores today. So I'm not tired, but you know, sometimes as a male, you ladies have a different kind of thing for this, man. I am stuffed. I'm feeling like exhausted by moving some items and sweeping some places today. But however, ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I am here by the grace of God. All right. So what do we start with this afternoon? What is the conversation that we must start with? All right. Let's get it from the onset and let us start the conversation. Today I'm starting with conversations surrounding the Royal Grenada Police Force. I believe all other mass bands have already launched their bands, and so I believe that the RGPF turn to launch the mass band has taken full flight, right? And so we are getting some masquerading taking place within the Royal Grenada Police Force. Our most, how I should put it, one of the institutions throughout the island in which Grenadians should be able to look up to. But it's sad to say that in recent days and recent weeks, information coming from within the Royal Grenada Police Force as it relates to what I would consider alleged corrupt practice, right? Some of which we're hearing things of backdating documentation, some of which that are speaking to pension payments, some that are speaking to so many things of ill practices that are taking place within the Royal Grenada Police Force. All right? One of which we understand, and I want to ensure that, as I always mention, I try to stay away from the Susu and them. All right? So we have one by the name of Stuart Mackenzie and Frederick Prince, whose leave was paid out for. This is one of the allegations coming out from the camp. So we understand that person's leave has been paid for. And so we understand that Frederick John, who was officially retired on the 7th of March 2023 as a superintendent, was passed in circular. Now he has received a backdated documentation as an appointed ACP within the RGPF. So you retired on the 7th of March stating that, hey, I have tendered my resignation from the Royal Grenada Police Force, and so you retired as superintendent. But however, there is allegation of backdated documentation that shows that you have now been given the rank of ACP. We continue. We also understand that the same individual has recently sent in his documentation to pension. So he sent in information to receive pension payment so that his last salary would reflect that he was an ACP during his retirement. So he retired as a superintendent, but in order for his pension to look sweet, they backdated the documentation to say he retired as an ACP. You understand? Some is saying why someone who has since retired has not submitted their documents. Somebody who has retired has not submitted their documents for pension and gratuity before official retirement. And should he receive the pension at the end of March 2020, but the pension now submitted in his documentation has changed. Somebody is saying PSC must confirm when that promotion was done. We get in there. They're mentioning also that the gunsmith within the RGPF, he would have received also a backdated letter, that appointment for June 27th, when in fact up to July, when acting commissioner Francois never saw or sent a letter to the PSC appointing the individual to hold any office at police headquarters. So a documentation sent and backdated to June of last year stated that this individual was given a rank. When in truth and in fact, nothing was sent to PSC stating that the individual obtained a rank. Only a few months back, the individual obtained the rank of ACP. But documentations are reflecting that the individual was given the rank June of last year, and we speak in June of last year after the 23rd of June. Somebody saying, I hear in jail door opening. They're stating that both individuals, in whom I mentioned earlier on, in that of Stuart Cohen and Mildred Charles, has been under investigation by PSC. In the case of the Charles individual, he was advised to destroy his cell phone, which was a subject to investigation in giving information. And so he was aligned within the newspaper in Grenada to be part of and part and parcel with the present administration. So a lot has been happening within the scope of the ripe grapefruit and passion fruit department in Grenada, because they have brought what we know as Royal Grenada Police Force to ripe grapefruit and passion fruit. That is what we know them as now. Because the level of what we're hearing, and we're hoping that there are allegations. I am praying that there are mere allegations, because people, those allegations are extremely serious. And so we need to call on PSC, and maybe the opposition need to maybe get to PSC. Let us get those documentations in hand, because those are serious allegations. You are having persons backdating official documents in order to satisfy the pockets of individuals. And today I'm trying to read your all comments. Somebody saying, I tell you, these things have moved so fast sometimes when you all are commenting. Well, those NDC governments, does the NDC government doing all this mess and nobody can hold them accountable? Nah, man, I now believe that the so-called pastor walking over more and more. Somebody saying this small country, somebody say, all right, let me ensure that I get it, my apologies. The small country to the south is I want to ensure, a cacostrocity run by corrupt politicians and uncaring leaders that want only powers to themselves. Where there is smoke, there must be blaze. I find the PSC corrupt. And those are comments by persons. Now, those allegations are serious allegations. And so to clear up all ambiguities, I honestly believe that persons, or the persons who, well, maybe I could just speak. I am just the voice for the voiceless. But I believe that there are persons that are in higher position and authority to get these persons to make these allegations that we are hearing cleared up, and cleared up very quickly. Those allegations are serious, serious allegations. Now, we had in recent days, and if you all are following me that often, I played clippings. I played clippings of the past commissioner of police. Well, the commissioner of police, because he's on pre-retirement leave. And so he, in that documentation that I played, that file that I played, he mentioned that one of the individuals, and we're speaking, let me tell you something about the RGPF people. And I believe I have a good friend on the line that could hear me. Let me tell you something. When you are being investigated within the RGPF, now let me tell you this. It does not end today. Your matter could be finished, and rightfully, if you have an internal disciplinary investigation that is taking place within about a year, there is no way you ought to obtain or be considered for a rank unless your investigation has been concluded. Now, the commissioner of police clearly mentioned to this country that the investigation was being carried out not in one matter, not in one matter, but two matters of state. Two matters being investigated. Now, during that investigation process, that individual who was under investigation went on annual leave. And so, while on annual leave, most of the time, you would basically conduct the investigation, but wait for the individual to return to work. Now, that investigation up to this day, just like how it was brought public, that an investigation was being carried out. Never there was a return that there were individuals carrying out that investigation and what was their findings. However, within the scope of just about, 2 years or so, after the incidents, with absolutely no conclusion of the investigation, we're hearing that this individual has obtained a rank. Now, how is that practically possible? That are findings to an investigation not yet concluded for an individual? Now again, when persons are of that level of rank, the Commissioner of Police would have to get through the investigation process to PSC and National Security and so on and so forth. So we know it is a process and it is a lengthy process. But we're saying that we have not gotten a conclusion to the matter. And instead, what we hear is that the individual has been lifted further. Now, notwithstanding that, an individual has been reinstated. Someone has been reinstated within the Royal Grenada Police Force. And with his reinstatement, there were allegations and investigations being carried out against him also, the individual that had been reinstated. When the investigation was being carried out, one of the most hard piece of evidence was that of a cellular phone in terms of confidentiality and so on. Now, when the investigation was being carried out, that phone automatically went missing. That phone was nowhere to be found. So that investigation, to me, should be one that is still ongoing. And so, he has been reinstated. He tendered his resignation in March of this year, I believe. And so, he resigned as a superintendent. But however, we're getting information, ladies and gentlemen, that this said individual has not been reinstated, backdated documentation that he did retire, as a ACP, a higher rank in which he originally retired in. This is corruption to the eyes. No, I am praying that they are mere allegations, as I mentioned. We're praying that they are mere allegations. And somebody saying, teacher, call out the PM. We have questions. Listen to me, I reading the whole thing. I read the whole thing in one view and in just your starting and your statement. They are not asking those questions during his interview. They're not asking those questions. Listen to me. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. I started, and I listen to me. I like to give the audience to everybody. Yeah? Now, if you are in a field wanting to give factual information, your research and process of research are important. Now, in a nutshell, I view the hub, the interview that took place within the Prime Minister's office with one of their political activists. And the starting of the interview went something like that in a nutshell. I am here with Prime Minister Mitchell and with the transformation agenda that have been happening, the great transformational agenda that has been happening. We're here with you, and we want to start with education. And with that, what have been happening in education from the Ministry of Education has been such a great thing. I was in St. George's yesterday, and I met a lady, and she said her son is so slow, and she was so happy that, you know, all children are going up to to a next level. No, this is how you interviewing an individual. You're wanting to find out your achievements within a year, but yet you're prompting the interview in the manner of speaking that the great transformational agenda, and you're speaking of the great things that have been happening in education. So you have basically telling the viewers already that you are telling us that you are satisfied. What is the purpose of the interview? What is the purpose of the interview when you are saying what you're saying? You are mentioning that great transformational agenda that has been happening in Grenada has been somewhat immaculate to you. And then you went on to education and started to immediately give kudos to the elevation to children in the CPA. So then what question are you going to ask me now? You have exalted me so much. I am a gold medal winner. But you're interviewing me and say to me, I realize that you run the race really fast and you broke the record and you obtained the medal. Now you're going to ask me how I feel? That is the most you can ask me. How does it feel now to have won a gold medal? This is what you could ask me. You can come and ask me again how much I come in the race, or you can't ask me that and then again, because you have prompted me already. Now, the best question heard thus far from this interview was one that was done on his Boss FM interview. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is a legal counsel. I'm a police officer. That is embedded in me. I'm not in it, but it's in me. Now, if you want to hear two set of people in the world sidetrack a question, ask a police a question, ask a lawyer a question. Within this legal scope, once you are intelligent enough, you know how not to answer a question. I'm telling you this. If you are intelligent enough to be around the legal fraternity, you should understand what it is to sidetrack a question. The question asked, in a nutshell, not verbatimly, this is what the individual asked. So well, we heard of, we would have seen your travel to Dubai, and we know that there are portions or questions raised as it relates to what, you know, has been the outcome from your travel. This is the question posed. This is the answer given. Well, for we're scoping that for the first 3/4 of the year, the CBI program has taken, we have seen great improvement. The question no answer yet. The question has not yet been answered. But you see now, they are not so, how should I put it? Their followers are not following what has to be said. They're following what is being said. Not what has to be said, you know. Because the question posed was about the Dubai trip. This is the question asked by the person conducting the interview. But here you are, brambling about the CBI program and its achievement. Now, if the question asked, a two-part question, came from me, then fine. But you see, the sidetracking ability is what he has understand how to do through the legal fraternity. And sometimes you ask me a question, and there were times in the early part of my relationship, my wife had to ask me, drop the policing thing. You understand me? Because this has been a part of you. And so to sidetrack those questions comes easy. Really easy. Right? So there is a lot of things going around or hovering over the RGPF in which we need a lot of answers to. A lot of answers, unanswered questions. And those questions need to be answered. Need to be. Going back as it relates to what was the outcome from the investigation concerning the ACP. What was the conclusion? What has come out from that? But again, what do you prioritize? Because you're taking over a job and you're going into the force and you're wanting to elevate officers whom you believe that might have rendered their support to you. But oh gosh, give them a little scope now. Find out if they have anything behind them. Find out if anything has happened with them. And you see every time, and you see, I don't sidetrack these people. The RGPF is a disciplined organization. And if you're man enough, if you're bold enough, if you believe in the discipline of the RGPF, and you find yourself in any malpractices, like I did, tender your resignation. Be a person. Don't stand within there and believe that because you're wearing the uniform, you ought to still go and deal with people out there on the basis that you're wearing the uniform. Be a person within you to understand that in you don't believe that you hold the characteristics to continue to wear the Queen's regalia, well, now the King's regalia. Tender your resignation. So many things hovering around your head, and because you believe your party in power, more or less, you're going to remain there. No. Leave. Sometimes you have to sacrifice what it is that you could hold for yourself. Name and face, and less embarrassment to family and friends. Tender your resignation. Leave. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, those persons who continue to stay in the back and pretend like, they're so high and mighty, it is coming. So there are questions to be answered. And we're asking that the Minister of National Security give some answers to those allegations. Sticking on allegations and conversations, well, one being a confirmation, because we would have had conversation with the individual. Now, an individual would have made certain application to the CES program. And having had conversations with the individual gave a particular estimate as to the amount he really wants within the CES program. And he basically was told that, hey, you can't get that. We don't give you that. He agreed, and he was told, to come in and sign your documentation. And we're talking about more than 3 months back. He was told to come and sign his documents and so on. Through the CES program, it was one where you source the item, and so the CES program may get in contact with the place. Like if you want a machine, then through the program would get in communication with the business place, make the order for the product. So you give more or less some form of footings to, them being able to do the purchasing for you, right? And yeah, but 6 months ago, about that, yeah. So the individual went in, signed the documentation signed, and could be just about 48 hours ago, with a conversation with the individual. After signing that documentation, and that documentation with his final signature, he had his final signature to give that approved him to get $15,000 through the CES program. He signed the documentation. All that was done, everything went in, only to know that the individual did everything but received that money. He did everything. You listening to me? He did every single thing expected except to receive that tangible financial final thing that has to happen, he has yet to receive those monies. Now, this is one individual. The CES program was scoped throughout the Tri-Island state. Now, let's take into consideration that his final documentation signed. So it means, I am sure that document is not sitting in the office. It could be. And I'm saying it could be. Understand my words? It could be that that money was received. That money could be, or that money could have been accounted for. Only, and maybe, not received by the recipient to collect same. Allegation again. Somebody saying when that person was talking about birds, a blackbird told me they're letting you sign documents and they're giving you the money to other people. But it's your name that is there. It is like they're getting the money. Now, this is an allegation again. And I'm speaking about a real case scenario. No, I am saying allegations because at the end of the day, we don't want to take it to mean that the person themselves is maybe speaking the truth. At the same time, we don't want to say that the program itself is doing anything corrupt. But I am speaking about an individual. I'm telling you, since about January, the individual signed the documentations. Since about January of this year, final signature was made. Money not received. Money has not been received. So all we say, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, those allegations are serious. Those allegations are serious. That could amount to things like fraud. Because you cannot fraudulently deprive somebody of something so important to them. It goes so far, ladies and gentlemen, that the individual is mentioning that even when he made inquiries with the place where the item had to be purchased, he was told that no order was made for that particular tool in which the application was made for. So let's say he wanted a lawnmower and he's getting it in Ace. When he went to Ace and asked, was X or Y ordered? They mentioned to him, man, we have nothing so inside of here. It is an allegation. It is an allegation. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're continuing. Today, I don't want to take a break, but allow me to just, get a little water. All right? So we're moving on. And I believe, well, the students themselves have uplifted me. So as a principal, I'll take the opportunity to. Now, before I do that, I want to read something. And I'm going to read it from my cell phone. So permit me from time to time. I would not be in, contact with you for a while. My eye. My eyes would not be focused on you for a while. So just permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to just read something. So I want to ensure that my hands fall on it as I get on here because I don't want to be too long in searching for it. But it seems like it just mesmerized on me for a while. Let me ensure that I get it. All right, there it is. All right, let me read. It starts by saying, look thing. I like this start. I want to read it, knowing the individual, right? Right? So the case brought against our learned Claudette Joseph by Dr. Mitchell, in which he sued her for defamation relating to comments concerning the shrimp farm in St. Mark's, he alleged she made at a press conference in 2019, came up for hearing today. Remember, he was all over the place telling people he won against her. LOL. LOL. Well, the court ruled in Claudette's favor, setting aside the default judgment he obtained against her on the 29th, 2021. The matter will now proceed in accordance with the rules of the court, and as we all know, the goodly lady has a very strong case. Interesting sidebar. It seems that Dr. Mitchell has changed lawyer. Exit Nigel Stewart, enter Jerry Edwin. No. A while ago I mentioned as it relates to the ability to be part and have a little knowledge as it relates to the legal fraternity. Now, the part that baffles me the most, and I can't understand this. Listen to this again. Well, the court ruled in Claudette's favor, right? Setting aside the default judgment. Now, let me give you the definition of default judgment. Default judgment is a binding judgment in favor of either party based on some failure to take action by other party. It is a judgment, listen to this part, it is a judgment in favor of a plaintiff when the defendant has not responded to a summons or has failed to appear before a court of law. The failure to take action is the default. Now understand this. The judgment made against Miss Joseph at the time at the court, Dr. Mitchell was present at the court. Miss Joseph was not there. The default judgment was passed, meaning what we consider to be at the lower court, ex parte hearing. She's not there. The judgment was made. She did not respond to the allegations, or not the allegation, but the matter brought forward. Now, it is in her legal rights to appeal. It is no rejoicing of it. A matter was heard behind her back, and so she wants to now appeal, and she did appeal, and so the court would find that, okay, she has a justifiable case in appealing. People, this is all it is. This is all it is. Dr. Mitchell literally won the case against Miss Joseph. It says it is a judgment in favor of the plaintiff. This is what default judgment is. It is a judgment in favor of the plaintiff. The plaintiff in the case being Dr. Mitchell. It was favored in his judgment. He won the case. Not he saying he won the case. He won the case. He won the case. Because the definition goes on to say the defendant has not responded to a summons or has failed to appear before the court of law. The failure to take action, this is what brings about the whole concept of what you call default judgment. It is what we call in the magistrate court ex parte hearing. There is no win for nobody there. It is in her legal right to have appealed the case. Now she would have simply, the court would have said, okay, you have appealed the case. We believe that you have justifiable grounds to appeal. And so we would again try the matter. This is all. This is all that happened there, you know. There is no win for Claudette Joseph. The only person thus far that would have won a matter was in that of Dr. Mitchell. So when Dr. Mitchell brought the matter to court, she failed to show up in court. And so the judgment at the time was in favor of Dr. Mitchell. So she basically stated that she defamated his character. And so he said to her, you had the opportunity to apologize or whatever. I think he gave her some time. And she didn't. And so he brought a matter of defamation of character to the court. Miss Claudette Joseph had the opportunity to answer to the summons, answer to the allegations made. She didn't. She did not show up at the court. She refused to even show up, to even answer to the documentations presented. And so the default hearing, once you hear default hearing, it goes in favor of the plaintiff. I bring you up. You is the defendant. You don't come in court. The magistrate know that I'm here. It goes in my favor. So Dr. Mitchell is not there boasting. Dr. Mitchell didn't pay somebody. You understand me? Miss Joseph refused to be at the court. And so, in order for the court not waste its time, it brought judgment to her. And so, when the judgment was passed, she believed she was unsatisfied with the judgment. And so what she did, she appealed. Just like Dr. Mitchell in the matter with he and Mr. Simmons, he too is appealing. What is the win situation and the exaltation as if Dr. Mitchell is now owing Claudette Joseph some monies? Anybody here that is at a cost would be Miss Joseph, because she's the one processing the appeal. She's the one doing the spending, and Dr. Mitchell is simply waiting on the judgment. And so, if it means that the evidence have to be again regurgitated in court, so be it. This is what it is. It's not parading, and I'm seeing already that the donkey program, the ride program, already posting up as it relates to what is going to happen in the court case. People, this thing, I tell you, listen to me. Give me the word. Listen to me. Every time I'm trying to pronounce the word, I'm going to get it, you know. I'm going to get that word. I'm really going to get that word correctly. There is no parading. There is no parading. Again, sidetrack mentality. Head in. That is all. So you might see something going on. Claudette Joseph win case against Dr. Mitchell. All she did, she won her appeal. She won her appeal. Well, not even a win. Not a win, because she appealed her case, and so the court is giving her the opportunity to again prove without all ambiguity, because the first time you brought nothing. The first time you basically brought nothing to the court. So if you brought nothing, then we were working with nothing. We never knew what you had to work with, because you were not there. You did not give some form of backings to the allegation made against you. Where is the win in that? There is no win in that, ladies and gentlemen. You see, my thing is, and I always say that, you know what I hate most? Is when intelligent people or expected intelligent people try to belittle the man on the ground. I hate that. I mean, there are some people that are not that properly lettered, and they would run with anything. Sometimes you instead of helping them, you're basically pulling them down. This is simply what you're doing. At the end of the day, it is a simple matter, ladies and gentlemen. Allegation brought, person charged, person appeal. For those of you who are affair with the Jamaican artist Vybz Kartel, he was charged, he appealed. This is what is happening there. Simple like that. There is no win situation behind that. What is the exaltation behind that? And why is it all of a sudden there is an urge to appeal when you were given the opportunity as a grown woman to simply apologize for misconception spread? This is where growth and development and education is supposed to kick in for big people. We teach to children, everybody, sometimes just give up right for peace. Give up right for peace. You were defamating an individual's character. He simply said to you, you would either retract your statement or apologize. You did neither of them. He took legal actions. In taking legal actions, you got legal documentation sent to you. Being part of the legal counsel fraternity, you refused to reply or respond to it. And so, you know with your absence, you will be charged. And so you were. So any negligence there started with you. And now you have the urge to appeal. And so you appeal and you basically was favored in your appeal. Well, win, if you want to say that. But what is going to happen now is simply the matter is going to be refiled and the matter is going to be heard again. This is all that is going to happen. Let us stop this ride with misconceptions. Let us try to uplift our people with information and educate them. Somebody seeing default judgment may not understand what default judgment is. People, at default judgment, you do appear in court, you may hear it being used in the lower court, like the magistrate court and so on, which is considered to be ex parte hearing. Ex parte hearing means that the defendant is not there, the matter goes behind your back. You're charged. You're not there. This is a default judgment. You parade on things knowing that some people may not understand. Well, simplify it now. So we don't have this big brawl. And so we have people that would not do their own research and understanding. Would run with it. Some Dr. Mitchell lose again. Dr. Mitchell lose again. What did Dr. Mitchell lose? What did Dr. Mitchell lose? Dr. Mitchell lose nothing. Dr. Mitchell is the plaintiff in a matter. Dr. Mitchell did not automatically become the defendant in the matter. Dr. Mitchell is now the plaintiff and still the plaintiff in the matter. It is Claudia Joseph as the minister that is about to answer charges as it relates to defamation, which could become costly to her. That as a minister of government, you are being paying money for defamating somebody's character. Because the judgment can still go in Dr. Mitchell's favor. So let us not bring, we're all Grenadians. And you see, as somebody was saying to me the other day, a gentleman was saying to me the other day, he said to me, Prince, I mean, these people are acting like we're not Grenadians. These people are acting like, the victimization and the castigation and the defamations is like you're not Grenadian. It's like I cannot be walking up the road tomorrow and meet an NDC supporter on the ground or in an accident. We're Grenadians. I don't understand this. We have never seen this level of defamation and victimization and castigation. You look at sometimes the comments of their supporters as if they don't win. Bro, NNP used to be in power. I'm watching press conferences and I'm not even responding and saying, yeah, Kid Mitchell is boss. And I'm not even responding to that because we were sitting in the chair. What am I celebrating? Why am I cussing with you? I form the government. But you see this level of aggravation and anger when you go on some of the pages and slandering and name calling. I'm hearing one mentioning, considering the political leader, nastiness. And you look at their age And you look at Dr. Mitchell's age, and you're asking yourself, were these people around the same time when Dr. Mitchell was growing up? They're about an age group. And Dr. Mitchell's contribution to state has so far surpassed theirs, and you're basically still in a kennel backing at a man that gave service to state and did a damn good job at it. And instead of trying to edify a person's mind with more intellectual understanding as it relates to political history, you're there castigating a man that is sitting home as an opposition leader for serving 22 years as a prime minister of state. How are you edifying? How are you educating? And you're castigating everybody. On what merits? On what grounds are you? You hate somebody so much? You sat here, celebrated your life, be part and parcel of Grenada. For years, you never sell your citizenship. For 22 years, you stayed under his rim. And now, you all of a sudden come out and you could castigate. Watch them, guys. Look at some of them that are castigating Dr. Mitchell. Ask them, in the how many years, as old as Dr. Mitchell would be, what has been your contribution to state? One asked me yesterday, what I do to build Grenada. Me, I never like carpentry, this thing and them. Never into construction. What have you contributed to state? That's a different question. I gave my service to the state 12 years within the Royal Grenada Police Force. That's my service to state. I can boast that. What is yours? What is yours? Dr. Mitchell, with his how much subjects below his belt and his degree and masters and whatever he had, he left it, came and gave service to his people. Lost. Out of office, in office. And he stayed. Some of all you twice, and all you're gone. He knows what it feels to fail. He knows what it feels to falter. No. But you can't see that. He's a nastiness and he's a thief. All kind of allegation against his name. But the good he has done, you can't see that. Because what we're into is defamation season. You see right now where we start to push real hard. We start to push at them real hard because we have materials to work with. What you get in a set of defamation now. Set of defamation. Set a thing. You might find them in my family life. You might hear them talk about my children. They want to know how come I'm not the police again. But it's not something I'm afraid to hide. I just tell them that straight out. Defamation. That is all. Ask them to come to you with facts. Come to me with information of substance. One said this morning, I'm watching Mosquito Man, the boss program, and he said what he heard. He said what he heard. Mosquito Man said, this is what I got from an interview. Individual. That alone you hear? Well, say what you heard. This is what he's mentioning. I am mentioning. This is what I heard. This is what I grasped from this. But you're cursing me for saying what I hear. Well, say what you hear. Comment what you heard. But they come in on your program or they come in on your life. You're a liar. You're a thief. Pay bill. This is what they're coming with. Nothing of substance. Substance, nothing. Because you have nothing to back you. Nothing to back you. You ask me what Dr. Mitchell did for the youth development in Grenada. I can speak of the FLY program. I can speak of the Empower program. I can speak of the Imani program. I can speak of the youth debate program that has been extended. The debate programs that was taking place during 2020 when they were virtual. I can give you from the snap of a finger. What has he done in housing? I can tell you the many housing schemes, the many persons that got programs through when we had Hurricane Ivan and the different programs where persons were rebuilding and so on. I can give you that from the snap of a finger. From the time you mention it, I can give you. Now let me ask you, what has your party done in the Ministry of Education? What has your party done in the Ministry of Youth? And if we could have a conversation where as I speak, you could give me, then let we have a conversation. But when I speak, you come in and tell me, oh, but don't worry, we have time to do it. We have 4 years still. Don't talk to me. Conversation done. Because we can be on the scope of sharing information as it relates to what your party has done and what my party has done. And you can give me 1 year in a few days. 1 year in about 8 days. And we have never had this level of complaint. Well, we thought, sometimes I just feel we are on the 3rd year. So many faltering. So many faltering. Let me say this to the persons who are considered to be NNP political activists now. We ain't scared of nothing. He without sin cast the first stone. We ain't scared of nothing. When we come here and when we go on our programs, we try our uttermost best to respect the office in which persons hold. I am one person that I'm very astute when it comes to that. You see, me and respecting positions and people, I am big on that, and not now. Because I believe persons' offices need to be respected. Right? And so, when I come to speak politics, and I speak politics on issues, speak to me about politics and issues. Try to run into my life and Sheldon life and Mosquito Man life and this one life. We're speaking politics. The world have seen many political activists. Where you feel Malcolm X and them was, they were pushing at the government and pushing at certain system changes that they believe was against the people. What you think Maurice Bishop and them was? They were political activists pushing back against what government of the day was doing. And so in that case, some of them pick up gun. We're not here picking up gun. We're here edifying people and speaking. And you can't have a conversation with me. Instead, you're choosing to defamate my character. And some of them calling us comedians. Well, let me say to you, one of the richest black men in Grenada, in America right now, he wore a dress. Tyler Perry wear a dress in Hollywood. And he's today a millionaire. So comedians, don't worry, with time coming. So if his jokes are given, sooner or later you might just see me in a Hollywood film in a movie. Just to do that little piece of thing I'm doing here. Can't just take what all you want from it. Party is not doing good. Accept that. We're not saying that the New National Party was 100% great. Dr. Mitchell himself and every one of them admitted that there was more to be done and more could have been done. But no, we're supposed to come on every program and say, we had a nice job, great job, continue. When we speak on issues, see they go in the little cozy corner and they're making fake page. You know how long I'm trying to make a fake page? You know how long I'm trying, so let me just come in my mind to make a fake page. But it's not in me. I am the person. You have to know it's me that's telling you that. You don't have to hide to tell you that. You have to know it's me that's saying that. You have to know. And listen to my words and go with it. Allegations. Suspected information. This is my words that I use. What is castigation? Ladies and gentlemen, as per usual, it is always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Always a pleasure. And I realize that I hit the 1 hour mark. You understand me? But I can tell you this. I ain't scared for that. Nobody ain't scaring me. Nobody ain't scaring me from speaking the truth as it relates to what I see in this state. Not saying that nothing is being done, but you all are very far from the mark. If we were to grade you within a 1 year period as the principal, all your marks don't looking good. Or you may not get rate. I have to write all your report. I have to give all your comments. I have to see some of all your parents. You don't looking good. All your report don't looking good. A lot of all you fail a lot of subjects. I don't even feel like giving all your book list for next term. You don't looking good. I don't feel some of all you going up like CPA students. I don't setting up all you. I want all you to learn. Not up and out. You got to learn. You got to work for what you... Success comes through working. I had to mark all your report book. Look at the state of that one shoe. You don't looking good. I don't like how all you looking. So if I had to mark all your report book, I got to do better than that. God got to do better than that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure, as per usual, to come here and converse with you guys. You know, it is important when you can exchange information, not set a confusion, but exchange information. And I pray that somebody learned something. You understand? We give information, and when we do, we hope that it goes where it has to go. Right? I come sometimes and you hear me on my program, I give suggestions to the government. There are things sometimes you so high in your chair you may not be able to see. And the persons are inexperienced. Very much so. You can't run from that. They're inexperienced. Right? And I believe if they take the notion of reflecting after this 1 year, I'm hoping that they can improve. As I always say, the government's failure is this country's failure. The people is this government. And we're not here basking on the opportunity or praising or saying when they fail. We hope that they don't. But they're on a path to failure. But however, there is ample time, I believe, to make a turnaround. And if that turnaround don't make in time, there would not be any time. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, again, it was a pleasure to be here with you guys and to be able to disseminate that level of information. I hope somebody would have learned something today. Remember, the word of the day, I forget to mention that the word of the day is what? I don't find all you saying it. I don't find all you know it. It is default judgment. So this is what you learn today. You learn today what is default judgment. All right? So it was a pleasure being here with you guys. I hope everybody have a safe evening and a wonderful weekend. Remember, it is Father's Day weekend. All of you guys have me on Facebook. I don't want no half-hearted Happy Father's Day. You understand me? You all have Friday and you all have Saturday to see me and I need things. I mean, I don't understand this thing. Every Father's Day is a set of Happy Father's Day. Mother's Day all kind of nice thing. Oh boy. Anyways, to the fathers on my on the page who's listening on today, I want to say Happy Father's Day to you guys, and I pray God continue to keep you all healthy and responsible. For those responsible ones, I want you guys to remain responsible. Our kids are of paramount importance to our lives as men, especially be it in your female or boy's life. It is important for a father to play that important role in the life of their kids. Fathers are heroes to children, and I can tell you that. Fathers are heroes to children. Superman, Batman, and them, Spider-Man, them have nothing on us. If we are being responsible and loving as fathers, them fellas and them have nothing on us. They would see us more a hero than those fellas. Right? But I don't tell all you go on roof and thing and jump down and try to fly and thing, you know. You understand me? But happy Father's Day to you guys. I pray that you all have a wonderful weekend. To the mothers, I don't do that. I do business with, if you vex with me, I don't do this thing about the mothers that act like fathers. I don't do that. Take all your Mother's Day, all you had all your Mother's Day, hold all your Mother's Day. Those still come and try to infringe on my Father's Day, right? Because ain't nobody come in and tell me I was acting in capacity as a mother, so happy Mother's Day. No, I am not telling no mother happy Father's Day for acting in the capacity of a, you were acting in the capacity as a mother, and it was happy Mother's Day to you. Don't come and tell me about nobody acting as no, and not in Hollywood. So the mothers who have been acting the role continue to act the role, but you can't act the role of something you can't be. So then I don't understand that. Right? So again, happy Father's Day. Mothers, do something special for those fathers in your life. You hear me? Do something special for the fathers in your life. So if it means that your boyfriend is a father, do something nice for him. All right? So happy Father's Day to the fathers. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we would see next Tuesday. Remember, class starts on 6 p.m. every Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in going forward. All right? We had some, upgrading to do on Tuesday last, and so that is would have faltered class. And so in going forward, class would now be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. All right? At 6 p.m. and be on time. Again, it was a pleasure. Have yourself a wonderful evening. God blessings to each and every one of you. All right? Royalty James is out.
With a federation, the whole thing end in confusion. CARICOM and then CARIFTA, but somehow a spelling disaster. Mr. West Indian politician, you went to a big institution, and how come you can't unite 7 million? When a West Indian unity, I know it's very easy. If you only rap to your people and tell them like me, them is one race, the Caribbean man, from the same place, the Caribbean man, that make the same trip, the Caribbean man, on the same ship, the Caribbean man. So we must push one common intention, is for a better life in the region, for we woman and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. You say that the Federation was imported quite from England, and you're going on for a CARIFTA with a true West Indian flavor. But since CARIFTA started running, morning, noon, and night all are hearing. It's just money speech, them prime minister giving. But I say no set of money could form a unity. First of all, your people need their identity like one race, from the same place, that make the same trip, on the same ship. So we must push one common intention, is for a better life in the region, for we woman and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. CARICOM is wasting time, the whole Caribbean gone blind. If we don't know from where we come in, then we can't plan where we go in. That's why some want to be communists, brother, some want to be socialists, and one set a religion to add to the foolishness. Look, a man who don't know his history can't form no push one common intention. It's for a better life in the region. For we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. The Federation done dead, and Carifta going to bed. But the cult of the Rastafarian spreading through the Caribbean. It have Rastas now in Grenada, it have Rastas now in St. Lucia. But to run Carifta, yes, you getting pressure. If the Rastafari movement spreading and Carifta dying slow, then it's something them Rastas on that them politicians don't know. That there's one race from the same place that make the same trip on the same ship. And so they pushing one common intention. It's for a better life in the region for the woman and their children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean.